ada අපිට යුද්ධයක් නැහැ. අද තියෙන්නේ රට සංවර්ධනය කරන යුද්ධය. අද තියෙන්නේ මේ සමාජය ගොඩනගන යුද්ධය.
The president opined that with the ending of the war, their next task is to develop the country and build the society. They are now facing a major challenge of developing the country. He was confident that they could surmount this challenge. The entire country had to be united to undertake development. Some in the past did not see remote villages. The president said ports were now being built. A better market had to be ensured for the local produce. Then only the president emphasized that it would be possible to improve the livelihoods. The president was addressing a meeting organized for the people of the Ambalangoda, Radgama and Balapitiya areas. It was held at Temple Trees. A mammoth gathering was present. They paid their tribute to the president.
Parliament approves the extension of the emergency. It was passed with a majority of 79 votes. 97 members voted in favour of the resolution while 17 members opposed it. The resolution was presented to the House by Prime Minister Ratnasiri Wickramanayake. The Prime Minister said that not only the civilians of the North and East but the people of the South are now reaping the dividends of peace. All obstructions on the A9 highway have been lifted. Many civilians are now using this road without encountering any hazards. The Prime Minister said that a majority of the civilians displaced have returned to their homes. The others are waiting their return to go home. 2010 has become a year of resurgence. The Prime Minister said the final target had not yet been reached. He added there is another short journey in which they have to embark upon. Facts and figures with evidence were presented in Parliament today on an alleged corruption and fraud committed by Sarath Fonseca while serving as the army commander. Parliamentarians pointed out that these weapons transactions had taken place via several firms, including HiCorp and the British Borneo Defence Company.
Minister Mahinda Nandaludgamage queried about the pact entered into with Sambandhan. The party had not given up the policy of dividing the country. As such, after talks with the TNA up to last afternoon, a pledge was given to grant Elam. He also said the army commander had the option of purchasing weapons worth 25 million rupees. This privilege was also enjoyed by the Air Force and naval commanders. Anything beyond this figure had to be submitted to the tender board of the Defence Ministry. The chairmanship of the tender board was taken over by Sarath Fonseca. 3 days after meeting the president, a company was registered in the US. Meanwhile, Minister Rajitha Senaratne told the House that all tenders are opened on one day. But after opening a set of tenders, 2 others were invited. Thereafter, these 2 were aware of the prices cited. The tender board under Fonseca's chairmanship awarded the tender to HiCorp, which had not submitted a tender. Finally, HiCorp altered the specifications and received approval on October 11th, 2007. Minister Senaratne said it was they who had quoted the highest price. Parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa pointed out that only Sarath Fonseca took over the chairmanship of the pricing committee, claiming that fraud had to be eliminated. He took over the chair not for this purpose. A 25 million rupee tender was awarded to the family company established in the name of the son-in-law. Dhanuna's father-in-law was the army chief. As such, the minister said there were links to facilitate the arms transactions. Therefore, the British Borneo defence firm nominated the HiCorp International Company as their local agent.
The HiCorp website has confirmed that General Fonseca was aware of the arms bid as chairman of the tender board about the arms transactions. His decisions to award the tenders to HiCorp were not affected due to the relationship of ownership in the company. The website drew attention to certain allegations made in Parliament related to transactions with the army. The company clarified the issues related to the transactions. It is said the company followed proper procedures when bidding for tenders with the Sri Lankan Army, the Navy and the Air Force. Danuna Tilakaratne, as president of High Corp International and the British Borneo Defence, said that he was taking the full responsibility of all tenders bid for them, namely partners companies, British Borneo Defence, Satpro Communications and Hitron LC. He said they believed that these tenders were granted due to the lower bids they consistently offered to the Sri Lankan forces. Salaries of principals and teachers will be increased. Briefing the media today, Minister Susil Premajayant said that the salaries will increase up to 3,300 rupees. It will be effective from 1st July 2008.
After having many discussions with relevant authorities, especially the Public Services Commission and Salaries and Cadre Commission and the Treasury, last year the Salaries and Cadre Commission recommended to the Treasury and the Ministry of Education to increase salaries by minimizing the anomalies of the teacher service. As a result of this implementation of this circular, the teachers' salaries will be increased. The minimum limit is 1,005 and the maximum limit is 2,685. And apart from this salary increase, teacher service getting another increment as a result of the Supreme Court judgment of last year.
The maximum application of modern information technology facilitated the humanitarian operations. Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa made this reference at the gathering organised by Microsoft on the expansion of information technology in Sri Lanka.
The proper implementation of IT can also improve the flow of management information on a real-time basis to key decision makers. A good example of this could be observed during the recently concluded operations in the north. Through proper IT integration, we were able to provide live video feeds of the battlefield front captured by unmanned aerial vehicles, not just to field commanders, but to the key decision makers in the hierarchy up to and including His Excellency the President. This was a critical tool in achieving success against the terrorists while ensuring the safety of the civilian population tracked by the LTT.
President Secretary Lalit Veeratunga said a considerable growth was achieved in the past in the stability of information technology.
I believe I should be telling you what the government has been doing for the last 4 or 5 years to bring ICT to the mainstream of government. We had a literacy rate, ICT literacy, of around 4% in 2004, and then just in December.
Bright future with the emergence of a peaceful atmosphere created with the end of a long drawn-out war. This observation has been made by Indian High Commissioner Ashok Kant. He said relations between the two countries have been very cordial. The excellent goodwill could be further strengthened under a peaceful setup sans a war. The Indian High Commissioner made these observations after paying a courtesy call on the Chief Prelate of Malwatta chapter, the most venerable Tibbatuave Siddhartha Sumangala Thero in Kandy. The Indian diplomat further said that Sri Lanka was now enjoying peace after the end of war in the country. His visit to the country also coincided with the pleasant period. Sri Lanka helped India when the latter needed assistance in the past. The High Commissioner added that in the same way, India is also willing to lend its assistance to Sri Lanka when the need arises. The Chief Prelate said the people of the two countries have long connections and added that even Buddhism came to Sri Lanka from India. ITN also brings spring to the north. The north is now in a position to listen to Vasantham FM and view the Vasantham TV channel.
The Independent Television Network has further expanded its services covering the northern province. Transmissions to the north will be launched tomorrow. Thus, the northern polity will get an opportunity to view the Vasantham TV, a Tamil channel, on UHF 25. Vasantham FM can be received on FM 97. The inspection of the expansion of Vasantham FM and Vasantham TV to cover the northern region was inspected by Brigadier Prasad Samarasinghe. A team of ITN officials also joined